This is the 2024 Nissan Altima 2.5 SR all-wheel drive. I'm not going to say that multiple times throughout the video because it would annoy me to have to say that, and it'd probably get tongue twisted. Anyway, is it a better mid-size sedan option? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. Today, Carrie and I are at Orr Nissan in Shreveport, Louisiana. This is a requested video from our friend Sun12345. Thank you for that request. We're going to talk about this model. If you want to know more about it, maybe come in and buy it. There's a link in the description of the video, as always. And as we start out, we're going to take a look here at something that's a little unusual, but here's what we have. The LED projector beam headlights. You know what? That may seem like old technology, but you know what? It's still going to do a good job of lighting the road in front of you. You have your signature daytime running lights as well. I like the design of what we have here with the turn signal right there. Just that nice, not just flat all the way across like we normally see on so many vehicles. Something that just separates things apart. A nice large grille that really enhances the front end and the presence of this Altima, at least in my personal opinion, because you don't really have a break with the bumper area down here the way you normally would. I don't know, it just seems to give it a more sporty look. It does come in gloss black, so watch out for roads that throw up a lot of chip rocks and gravel and things that can provide chips on there. Probably not the best thing to deal with. Now, you won't find active air curtains here on the front end, but that's what we have. What you will find here, if you're cross-shopping and saying maybe you want to buy a Honda Accord, but you're that person that says, we get a lot of snow and ice where I live. They do a good job of plowing the roads, but it's still very slick. I need all-wheel drive. Well, that's not something the Accord offers. It is something that's offered here. Let's talk about tire and wheel size. So our width on this case is going to be 235. We're going to have a 40 series sidewall, 19-inch wheels. A very nice look with those wheels. And let's see if I can make sure I don't pull out the remote to my own vehicle in here. There's the remote. Now, the one thing about these remotes is that the color with that silver finish, it might be kind of hard to see what all is on there, but you do have remote start. That's always a good thing. That's your top button, lock, unlock, panic button. All of that stuff is here. And we have our gloss black mirror caps. These are manually folding, so for those of you who might say, how do you manually fold those side view mirrors? Yes, everybody, I have been asked that question before. And when I didn't show how to do that, they said, you didn't show us how to manually fold the side view mirrors. You're driving on the road with these people too. They're power adjustable and they're heated. There's a benefit, especially for, again, those of you who live in those colder climates. And as we work our way back, you have nice lines here as far as the overall design, a combination of your chrome trim right here and some gloss black on the top. I think that's well balanced, not too much of either one. And I like how the taillight housing flows from the side of the vehicle, works its way all the way to the back. Altima logo, you're going to obviously have your Nissan logo and the SR logo here in kind of almost an orange look to me more than anything else. We also know right here that it's going to be all-wheel drive because we have the logo. And here under the hood is the 2.5 liter four-cylinder. It is naturally aspirated, so for those of you who are anti-turbocharger, that's a good thing. 182 horsepower, 178 on the torque. It is mated to a CVT. Now let's work our way over here to the window sticker with those horsepower numbers not being super high. What do we get? 26 miles per gallon city, 36 highway, 3.3 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven, 30 miles per gallon combined. And here's something to note. If you rent one of these or you just bought one and you haven't paid attention, your salesman did a bad job of telling you things, that does happen. You have to go into the interior to do this. And I'm going to let Carrie come in and show you where the release is. It's where a lot of the time the hood release would be. In fact, he can go ahead and pull on that. And that way I can go ahead and just open this up and show you that you don't have capless fuel fill. That's a good thing. So you have kind of an old school gas cap. In fact, it looks like the USB came off. Oh, that's not really USB, I'm kidding. Before somebody has a fit in the comments section, because people will do that. I'm totally joking about that, but we didn't break it. But that is a 16.2 gallon gas tank. And how about cargo capacity? 16.4 cubic feet is what we're looking at. I'll let Carrie come in and first of all show you a little bit of what is here. you're going to have something that's nothing out of the ordinary on a midsize sedan, and that you have these two releases right here. We pull on one. I'm going to let Carrie pull on the other for me over there real quick, and then I will drop the seat backs here. Well, unfortunately, people sometimes forget to release the seat belts in the back seats because they don't realize we're coming to make these videos and we have to do it ourselves. But now that I've done that, here is how you maximize your cargo capacity. And there's one more important thing to answer a question that I know a lot of people are going to have. Does it have a spare tire? Let's take a look. Doesn't look like it, does it? Well, guess what? There it is. You do have a spare tire. There are all of your tools to change that tire. That's always a plus. No tire repair kits here. Now, sitting in the back seat here in the Altima, I definitely have plenty of space. And these seats are pretty far back. Leaned back quite a bit, pulled back quite a bit on the tracks. So there's a good bit of space here. Now, headroom, well, I have a little bit of room right there. If I was still a growing boy, I could still grow a little taller and fit back here. Maybe I'm growing, just not that way. But we'll just have to give it a few months and find out if there's any more growth. Armrest right here. Maybe I just need to work with these armrests quite a bit, lift them 1,000 times a day, and then I can grow the old biceps. But there's your armrest, cup holders built in. Now, you won't find air conditioning vents on this trim level. There are USB options, however. You have the two different, of course, types of USBs that you're going to have, your USB-C, USB-A, all that's going to be here. One rear seat pocket, something that we see on some vehicles. Sometimes you see two, but one way or another, seems to be a pretty comfortable back seat. Now, you have recline built into these seats, but it's not adjustable. And we're not going to forget about the door panel. Let's do what we normally do here. How do the materials feel? Is it comfortable? There you go. The armrest test gets a thumbs up. And a fairly large door bin right there, a little bit more than just a bottle holder. I think that's a good thing. You're going to have your control there for the power window. And when somebody wants to exercise 182 horsepower, look right here. There's a no crap handle when people experience the non-neck snapping performance. And what would you have to pay at Nissan if you came in and bought this model? $31,745 is what it would cost you. Let's see what else you get for the price. And we'll start over there on the passenger side. Take a look at the door panel. Nothing out of the ordinary as far as having a little bit more space, not only with the armrest, probably just as comfortable as it is in the rear. That's what Carrie says. And then we also have a larger door bin. Definitely more space where that's concerned. Not out of the ordinary, but it is there. You've got your controls for windows and locks and all that good stuff. And the silver trim on that upper portion that flows right into, or if you want to say from, the door handle. So a nice look, and that comes all the way into the dash area right here. That works too, just kind of flows across. Now for the passenger, it's going to be a manually adjustable seat on this trim level, but it is adjustable. That's a good thing. But I do like the pattern that we have here, something that just kind of breaks everything up. It's just not one solid color. So you can notice you have the grays, the black, a little bit of a lighter color here, some red right there. I think that does a good job. It looks nice and sporty as it should. And we'll let Carrie hop on inside here and see what's going on in the glove box area now that he's inside, because the motor's a little noisy from the outside. We can start the air running here and kind of help us out some. There's the glove box. Space in there, plentiful. That's always a good thing. And then we work our way up here to the infotainment screen. And you can see what all is here. We've got everything for settings, depending on what you need to go into and take a look at. Pretty easy to figure out. You don't have to necessarily have a degree to figure this system out, but that's a good thing. If you want to pair your smartphone, you can obviously do that. I'll go into reverse and show you what the rear view camera looks like. That looks pretty dark. Part of that is because, well, we have a bit of an overcast day, but you can see not too bad. It's definitely going to take care of it. You won't find any vehicles today that don't have that. Here are your controls for volume, turning the radio on and off. On the other side over there, you can adjust your stations. And on this trim level, we will find single zone climate control. I don't think that's a big deal. You can still keep the interior nice and comfortable. Fan speed here on the left. Temperature over there on the right. You can see everything else that is here. And there is a little more connectivity down here in the way of USB, and in this case we have the addition of a 12-volt power outlet. And if you're looking for the button to start the engine, it's right here. That's not unusual. I know I'm used to reaching up here just out of habit in my own vehicle, things like that, but that's how it goes. We have a conventional style shifter here. We have reverse, neutral, drive, and then we have the L down here. For those of you who don't know, that L is low gear. And what that means, if you're in a low traction situation, that'll keep you in low gear and allow you to still have all of the power of the engine available at the same time. So, cup holders will also be here. There's your power parking brake. We have basically a dead button right there. And a little bit of orange contrast stitching. Again, I like the breakup that provides in the interior. And we'll also have quite a bit of space within the center console. And as is always the case, the lid for the center console does double as an armrest.
Hey, vehicle visionary fans, YouTube watchers, Carrie's Driving Lounge today. Nissan Altima SR? SR edition. So, let's see what's going on here. I've never been in one of these before. The seat I'm sitting in is a power seat, forward, backward, and you have tilt adjustment for the backrest. Here's your door handle to get in and out of the car. We have mirror controls right here, left and right mirror controls with your adjustment button, door lock and unlock button, and there's the button there to lock the windows in the back, automatic up down window for the driver's side. No other window gets a automatic, but they are power. You just have to hold the button for those. There's your door pocket for your cup and whatever you want to stick in there. There's your hood release right there, and here is the lever I pulled earlier to open the gas tank door. There's a dead pedal right there. Gas pedal, brake pedal. This has a very nice floor mat, nicer than a lot of cars I've been in. You have an adjustment here for your tilt, telescope, and steering wheel. Right here on the dashboard, you have a trunk release button. There's a dimmer switch for your dashboard to light it or make it darker. And there's a trip reset button for your odometer. And there's the slide gauge, the slide lever for your vents for the air conditioner. Steering wheel feels very nice. I think Nissan uses a very similar steering wheel on most of their vehicles, and it's a very nice feeling steering wheel. Not overly thick, not overly thin. Sporty, 3-spoke, very nice. Airbag area right here, plastic, but looks leather, but it's plastic, but it still feels good in the hand. You have a stock over here on the left side, very basic for your headlights, park lights, and automatic lights. Your turn signals are operated off that same lever, left, right. They do work. You should probably use them. You have on the right side your wiper controls for intermittent, fast, slow, and your pull back there to squirt fluid on your window. On the steering wheel stalk, you have on the left side, you have your channel and your channel finder, forward or backward, a back button for the screen. We'll go over that. Speaker volume up and down. And this is the button to navigate the screen. We'll get to that in a moment. On the right side, you have the cruise control activation, set, reset, cancel, the activation of your telephone to hang it up or answer it right there. On the screen here, we have, let's go over this button right here. This button here will go forward or backward on your screen. On your dashboard, you push it, we have fuel economy, the trip odometer, the radio settings for either Sirius or radio or your source button, and there's your mitigation for blind spot. And then there's the settings button where you can go to different things. That's the right button that gets me to that screen. This button here goes down where you can pick your different settings like your driver assistance, your tire pressure monitoring, your clock, vehicle settings, and your maintenance. And then there's also a home button on here to go back to home. On the dashboard itself, you have a RPM gauge, which goes to 8,000 RPM. Below that, you have the coolant temperature, cold and hot. And on the left side, there's a speedometer that says 120 miles an hour or 220 kilometers per hour. I wonder if it'll go 140 miles an hour. I don't know. The gas gauge right there on the right, and next to the gas pump symbol, it shows that your gas tank door is on your driver's side. Up top here, we have the visor. Flip it down, and it tells me that it is a sliding visor, so I know it'll pass the visor test, but let me just show it to you. Flip it over, and let's pull it out, and let's see how far it slides. and it does cover the entire window. It's not very steady though, just kind of wobble around, but it does cover the entire window. And it has adjustments over here for the seat belt, up and down, so if you're taller or shorter, to make sure that the seat belt does not cut into your neck, which I've had it happen before. It's very irritating. Up top here, we have the eyeglass holder and the controls for your interior lighting. Other than that, I think that's everything for the Altima driving area for Carrie's Driving Lounge. It's basic, but it gets the job done. Everything you need is here. Things you don't need are not here. If you're looking in this price range, this is definitely something you should consider. Carrie's Driving Lounge. See you next time, folks.
Well, you couldn't really hear it because I had the blinker on and it's kind of loud, but hey, at least you know, as much as I give everybody a hard time about using blinkers, I also use my own. But we drove over the railroad tracks back there. What did you think, Carrie?
It was kind of wobbly, but quiet.
Yeah, it really wasn't bad. I mean, it didn't beat us to death, that's for sure. So the ride quality definitely seems to be exceptional. And with 182 horsepower, I know the question is that enough? You know, there are people out there who are going to say, yeah, that's plenty. That will get the job done for me. I don't need a lot of horsepower. I just need something I can drive around. When I need to get up to highway speed, I can, which this Altima can do that without a problem. But you're going to have the opportunity to have some great gas mileage. You don't have to go hybrid to do that. A lot of people think that's the only way you can do it, or go with full EV. No, you really don't. And for the price point of this vehicle, that is a big advantage right there. And I know it's been a few years since the Altima has been fully redesigned, back to 2019. But now would be a good time to buy one, that's for sure. The price point being in the low 30s, at least on this particular model, well, you can't really beat that. Let's see how it handles. We got an opportunity to kind of cruise on through the corner here. Being all-wheel drive, it's obviously going to do really well. I didn't really go that fast through there, but easing onto the pedal, it does seem to get down the road with absolutely no problem. Getting onto a road with the speed limit is 60 miles per hour, we're doing just fine. And for those who are looking for a nice vehicle to drive that's not going to break the bank, it has some technology but not too much, this is definitely a good model for you. I think it would be a good option for someone who maybe is just not driving a lot, or you're driving a small city, or in a large city, I should say, and you need a small vehicle to get around with, or you just don't drive a ton, but when you do drive, you want to be able to save money and on gas and all that good stuff. Yeah, it's a really good multitasking vehicle for people who don't have large families and all that kind of stuff. You've got plenty of room back there if you do need to take a road trip for your luggage and all that good stuff. And going back to technology, you saw it earlier. I showed you what's on the screen. There's not a ridiculous amount here. For some people, that fits because they're not looking for a lot of technology. Don't mind having some bare minimums, and that's definitely a good thing. Okay, tell me what you think about the 2024 Nissan Altima 2.5 SR all-wheel drive. I only said it twice in the video, so I don't want to hear anything about that because I didn't say it more than that. Maybe I should try. No, maybe not. What do you think? Is it a better mid-size sedan option? Tell me what your thoughts are when comparing it to the competition. The one thing the Accord sure doesn't offer that you can get here is all-wheel drive. So tell me your thoughts. I do want to say a special thanks to our friends here at Or Nissan for loaning us, minus the tongue twist, this model for the day. And a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That's very helpful to us. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. That way you don't miss any future videos. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out that video right over there on the screen, and we'll see you there.